It's the end of June, really the beginning of gardening season here in Western Washington. So let's get into a garden tour. Hi friends, I'm Laura. This is Double Vision Homestead, and here is my end of June, beginning of July garden tour. As you can see, things are really just starting to take off. This kiwi is going crazy, and we have not had any kiwis off of this plant before, but it is just loaded so far. As you can see, there's all these little tiny kiwi berries. It's not the fuzzy type, it's just the hardy type that is all over. I mean, it's just everywhere you look, there's just bunches of them. So I'm very excited. I've never had a kiwi berry before, so I mean, I have had kiwis from the store. I hope they taste the same, but not really sure. So we'll just back up, get a good view of the outside. As you can see, I've got green stalks on both sides of my garden here. I normally do a lot of flowers, but it's been a rough season for me. I've had a lot of health issues, so I haven't been able to get out in the garden a whole lot, but my thyme is flowering, and pretty much everything in here seeded itself from last year. We got a little bit of mint. But it still has some beauty, even if there's not a lot that I've done with it yet. Still plenty of time in the season here. Let's just go inside and check it all out. Happy dog, ready to greet me. So strawberries, this has been a great year for strawberries so far. They have just been going non-stop. I'm kind of surprised that they've been doing so well because we've had such a rough year with the slugs and everything else, but apparently they've been leaving my strawberries alone. Same with the birds. We've had crazy birds everywhere, but they haven't been eating my strawberries, which is good because they're quite tasty. As we get in, things are just a little bit crazy. Oh, there's a hummingbird. I don't know if this is catching it very well, but there's a hummingbird greeting me. They love these sage flowers, which is good because I love having the hummingbirds. They're just fun to watch. I'll give it some space and let it keep eating the nectar off those flowers. So let's see, right behind me, this first bed back here, haven't really done anything with yet. I did plant some watermelon in there, but then the slugs and birds got them and there's no watermelon now. So I've got to replant it, but I've got a whole bed, nothing in the way. I can plant anything. So then here we've got my first of these are snow peas. They're probably my favorite garden snack. I gotta have one. I can't just go past it without eating some of them. They are doing crazy. We don't have super hot weather, so they just keep growing. Pretty much for, I'd probably guess, another month or so, I'll be eating them. And then I've got my tomatillos right next to it. So these are just basic green tomatillos. They are just starting to put fruit on. I see there's a couple of them on there. They say you need 2 plants to get fruit. I don't think that's true because I have had one and my dad has had one before and they've both produced fruit before, so who knows what the real answer is. And then right behind that we've got this other bed here that looks like it's all peas, but it is not. I grew peas up the middle of it because we eat a lot of them. We really like them. But then there are tomatoes right in the middle here. They haven't started to produce fruit, probably because they're not getting a whole lot of sunlight, but that's okay. I'm the only one that eats tomatoes in my house, so we don't need a crazy amount. But this is a black cherry tomato. I'm trying to grow as many black tomatoes as possible this year to see what ones I like the best. I also tuck in some onions here and there. They don't take up a lot of space, supposedly help keep pests away, and you know, I like onions. Coming around to the back side, it's still looking like it's all peas, but there's 2 more tomatoes tucked in here. I can't even see this one really. It's so covered in the peas, but there is one there. That is an evergreen tomato, so it's a green type. And then right next to it, I've got a pineapple tomato. They look like they're doing good. I'm not single stemming these or anything. I'm just letting them grow and see what happens. I guess this guy's just following me around as I go through the garden. He's enjoying this broccoli that we ate already, and now the little shoots are just bolting and I'm letting flower because I don't need the space for anything yet. Hi little guy, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying the garden. I know I'm enjoying you being here. The salad bed is still going crazy. I've pulled things that have bolted so far, but the Swiss chard, I can't believe how fast that grows. We just clipped almost all of it from this bed this week and ate it, and you can't even tell. It's just huge and colorful and beautiful, and we got all different colors in there. Loving it. I mean, you gotta like beet greens because that's what it tastes like, but our lettuce is still doing good. Can't even tell that we eat it, but we do. I swear we do. And finally, our first carrots are starting to look like they're getting close. Not yet, but they are getting a little bit of size to them. But maybe another month or so we'll be eating carrots. Same with these beets. These ones are growing really slow, but I don't water my garden. I've watered like twice this year, so you know, there's that. And then we've got different stages of cilantro here. I do a succession planting, so these ones obviously were planted later than these huge flowered ones. I'll just let those go to seed and then drop them and they'll reseed, and we'll have more cilantro growing there. And then right behind them, you see I've got these green beans. They're pole beans. They're just starting to climb. They haven't gotten very high yet, but pretty soon they'll be covering this archway. This is the Vortex variety. It's one of my favorites. They're very slender, no strings, delicious. And then over here, we've got a lot more cold weather crops that just haven't produced, and they just kind of been chilling there doing nothing, except for these newer ones. This is, looks like beets. I didn't label anything, so, you know, it'll be a surprise. Then we've got some more carrots that are a little further behind than the other ones. I think these are turnips that are going to seed, so we'll have to see if we get any kind of root with that. Not really. I guess I can eat the greens, but that's nothing to speak of there. Then we've got more lettuces here. Those look like they're ready to harvest. The spinach is going to seed. Spinach always bolts for me. I rarely ever get to eat spinach. I don't know why when I can grow every other kind of green, but spinach, no matter what, it bolts. And then you can see on the outside of the fence, other people are very much in other people get to have their corn much earlier in the season, but ours is just starting to sprout here. We don't have a whole lot. I do small varieties or small amounts because, well, you know, we're a small family. And then I just help them along. I've got some garlic over there that looks like a hard neck. I need to harvest those scapes today. I enjoy making compound butter with them. And then, you know, can't hide this. Yes, I do have weeds all over my garden that I need to do something about, but I haven't gotten to it, and that's okay. And then here's my tomato bed here. We have, again, I'm trying a lot of black, purple varieties. This first one here is the Black Beauty, and it is definitely the darkest of all of them. I mean, there's like no anything else other than black on that tomato. interested to see how it tastes. It's very interesting to look at. And then we have a Blue Beauty here, which it does not have any tomatoes set yet. So it's doing a little slower than the black one. And then coming around, this one's probably the prettiest. This is the Sartre Roulois, so it'll be more of a yellow tomato when it's ripe, but black on the top. So it's looking pretty so far. These ones I do a single stem and let them climb up this, and by climb, I clip it to the string so it's attached to the trellis, goes up to the top. When it gets to the top, I usually top it because we have short summers here, and just it doesn't help the plant to keep growing. Over here I've got my favorite paste tomato. This is the Amish paste. I don't see any fruit on either of these two plants yet, but they will be producing soon. They are flowering. And then this one is also new to me this year. This is the Paul Robeson. Plenty of fruit on that, but nothing ripe yet. And then we will turn around here. I like to grow cucumbers up this panel here. It's not a cattle panel, it's just some kind of fencing that we found somewhere for free. So I attached it to these T-posts, and it'll climb up and cover this in no time. But this is a Japanese variety. I need to mulch it, probably water it, because it's been pretty dry. And then right behind here, we've got my potato bed. It has been going crazy. Yesterday I just went through and removed all the flowers because I want potatoes, not flowers. So they will be putting more strength into the potatoes and less strength into producing seeds that are not edible. So looking good. Hopefully it's looking good underground too. Oh look, I've got some more garlic here. I didn't plant those either, but it looks like my shallots are well past ready to harvest. So that will have to add that to my to-do list here, because they need to be dug out. Otherwise they will just keep spreading and get smaller and smaller every single year. My wonderful husband helping out, topping off this bed so I can add more green beans in there to climb up this side of the trellis. Just took out the shelling peas today. They were pretty much done for yellowing and just not as good. But in the same bed, I've got some more onions, got a couple melons. This one is a midget melon, so like a personal size cantaloupe. Then I've got, this one's new to me this year, it's a Japanese tiger. We'll see if it's any good. Over here I put a couple seeds in because the birds killed the plant, but this was the farthest north. It's my favorite melon that I grow, but the birds killed it, so that's what happens. And then over here I've got my first zucchini plants that the birds keep burying, and they've snipped off a couple leaves, but they're just starting to grow. Nothing crazy yet, but they will be taken off in no time, I'm sure. And then around here we've got some more carrots that, again, the birds have been messing with a lot, so the number keeps shrinking every day because they keep pulling on this hay and, you know, pulling out carrots, snipping them. Doesn't look like any of the blueberries are ripe yet, but there were a bunch that were close to ripe, so I'm guessing that just means that the birds got them before I did. But they're loaded, so I'm hoping that the birds will leave me some, because I think blueberries are probably my favorite garden fruit, and last year we got almost none. It just wasn't a good year for them, and this year they're loaded. I mean, this tree looks like, bush looks like it's gonna just topple over. It's so full of blueberries. See, they're just sitting on the ground. They're so full. The birds don't seem as interested in my raspberries. I have been eating those, even though you would think that the birds would eat them too because of the red color, but I haven't seen too much damage from the birds. Back here, not a lot going on. This is lavage. It's a perennial, almost like celery. Probably keep that instead of growing celery in the future. This is a summer squash. It's the Gelber English or custard. It's just starting. It actually hopefully isn't getting killed by slugs or anything. Something's been digging on it, so we'll see if that survives. Over here we've got some pumpkins. We've got a Naked Bear pumpkin. That one's supposed to be a holeless seed, so they're better for eating the seeds. And this one is a full moon pumpkin, so it's a white pumpkin. Another kiwi. That one's my youngest, so I won't get any kiwis off that for another year or two. And over here, I've got a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, so just your standard orange, pretty good size one. And then this one is a little mini one that's striped. I grow this one every year. So this one looks like it's starting to take off. I had a butternut squash in here, but it again got killed by slugs or birds or something. But I've got a red curry squash growing here, and I've planted it before. It's probably my husband's favorite. It's very mild tasting, thin skin, but it grows enormous. So I expect that it's going to take over a huge section of the garden. And then over here we've got some watermelons that are just starting to grow, and with plenty of stuff I need to get rid of there, but there's 2 little baby watermelons in there and lots of weeds. And this kiwi's getting out of control. It's supposed to be a male, but I keep seeing fruit on it, so I'm not really sure how these got pollinated if they are both females. So confusing, but I guess nature finds a way. I enjoy this one. It is a guava bush. It said when I bought it that it was self-pollinating. Over the years I found out it is not, but it puts out these gorgeous flowers. I don't think the deer would eat this plant, so I plan to get it out of my fenced garden space to give myself a little bit more room in here and get a second one so that I can hopefully try the fruit. But they're beautiful flowers. Very tropical looking, which is not something we generally get in Western Washington. Can't forget the tunnel. This is where all my peppers are. Got some sweet potatoes in buckets here that seem to be doing okay, but my peppers are just starting to produce. So you can see here, I pretty much only grow sweet peppers and bell peppers because that's what we eat the most. But it's pretty early here for Western Washington, and as you can see, I've got some pretty good sized bell peppers already forming, so I'm a little surprised. I've got a couple cucumber plants. These cucumber plants are doing the best. I'll probably just attach some kind of, get some kind of bee there. Probably just attach some kind of string and trellis them upwards. But maybe next week. Got these little tiny eggplants here. Not much going on with them, but maybe a little fertilizer would help. This one's looking pretty good so far. Again, they're very slow growing, and I live in Western Washington where we just don't get the heat. These don't look amazing, but they're doing okay. Just these Thai chilies, it's the first time I've grown them. They're kind of fun to see, nice long skinny ones. But in no time, These peppers will be loaded and I will be eating crazy amounts. I mean, some of these are just enormous for the size of the plant. Like, that is a huge sweet pepper. I tried one yesterday about that same size. It was called a Slovana, something like that, from Burpee Seeds. And it just didn't have a lot of flavor, so I'm gonna let it ripen a little more. My snack peppers are just starting to turn color. Pretty excited for that, because we eat a lot of these for our lunches. Oh look, now that I'm out here, I see I got a couple of them that are ripe that are just teeny tiny. First ones are always a little smaller. I think it's just, you know, the transplanting and whatnot. These are Big Jim peppers, chili peppers. But yeah, mostly sweet peppers. It looks like it's doing pretty good out here. Nothing crazy. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my garden tour. We are just at the brink of things exploding. I expect there to be a huge change between this month and next month. We're already changing things up. We just got rid of the peas today, or the shelling peas today. I'll be planting some more pole beans in here so that this trellis archway will be completely covered by the end of the summer, and it'll be a nice, cool, relaxing place to hang out for me. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.